2021 Ducati Multistrada V4S Review, Style, Sophistication, Performance. Fundamental to the Ducati story is the experience one has when riding any of their motorcycles. It would be hard to argue that you don't feel something when you ride a Ducati. There were a lot of feels during my day in the saddle recently at Ducati's press launch for the all-new Multistrada V4 in beautiful Borrego Springs, California. I don't want to dwell on lists of features, as the 2021 Ducati Multistrada V4S has enough to make the story book length. Let me refer you to UltimateMotorcycling.com website editor Ron Lieback's first look story on the Multistrada V4 for a full rundown. The big news, of course, is the use of a non-Desmo motor and a monocoque mainframe rather than a trellis design, two things that the most die-hard Ducatisti may find difficult to accept. However, once they ride the Multistrada V4, I expect a full Italian embrace of the motorcycle by the faithful. At the launch, Ducati executives made it clear what the objectives were for the new Multistrada: to be the pinnacle of performance and technology in the ADV segment, build a new Gran Turismo engine derived from the Desmo Sophistication V4 that delivers a powerful usable smooth output, engineer a capable off-road motorcycle, and provide class-leading valve and service intervals. Multistrada means many roads in Italian, and this motorcycle definitely needs to be ambitious to meet all those purposes. It would not be a Ducati if it did not also heavily emphasize style, sophistication, performance, and a word I heard a lot during the presentation: trust. I'm partial to the ADV segment and have owned many motorcycles in this category over the years. What I've always enjoyed most about them is how versatile they are. I spend a lot of time in the canyons with my friends, on a racetrack, or on multi-day trips. The 2021 Ducati Multistrada V4 is another great step in that direction. Sure, it has a 19-inch front wheel, and I've been asked whether that inhibits its performance on the street. After riding it on technical and challenging roads, not once did I feel the front tire size hold me back. In fact, if I had one in my garage, I'd gladly do track days on it. Tire manufacturers got wise to the fact that many ADV owners don't spend a lot of time in the dirt, and have made tires that are 100% street-focused. The Multistrada V4's Pirelli Scorpion Trail 2 standard tires are as grippy as the Hypersport tires of just a few years ago. The Multi handles brilliantly on the road. Whether I was bouncing around town, upping the pace in the canyons to a brisk pace, on the highway, or in traffic, it over-delivered in every way. The Multistrada V4 is comfortable, smooth, linear in its power delivery, and has no problem being on the side of the Pirelli. The more I threw at it, the more it made me feel it had way more to offer than I was asking of it. The Brembo Stylema brakes are top-notch, naturally, and trail braking into corners is nothing short of perfect. The brakes have a very linear feel to them, and it does not take much to get the Multistrada V4 to slow or stop when needed. Think superbike stopping power, but not at the expense of touch. Tons of cornering clearance is there for when you're leaned over. Of all the ADV motorcycles I've ridden, the Multistrada V4S puts the sport into sport touring/ADV riding better than the rest, yes, even with a 19-inch front tire. I don't know exactly how the Ducati engineers did it, but they did it. The motorcycle is incredibly comfortable. I think riders sometimes underestimate just how important that is to riding well in whatever circumstance you encounter. I've converted a lot of my street riding buddies to upright motorcycles for that reason. With the Multistrada, you can ride all day and not feel in any way compromised when the roads start to tighten up or require the performance characteristics this motorcycle offers. On the comfort side, the windscreen is manually adjustable and can be done while in motion. No notches, just slide up and down to your liking. The V4 Gran Turismo engine is a departure from the Desmo Sophistication V4 used in the Panigale and Street Fighter V4S. It uses finger rockers and springs for valve control, rather than desmodromically manipulating the 16 valves. That was done to adapt the engine for the type of motorcycle the Multistrada is, and it works incredibly well. The V4 Gran Turismo motor is smooth at low RPM, with lots of torque in the mid-range, and plenty powerful at high RPM without feeling too mental. The 170 horsepower peak comes at 10,500 RPM, with 92 ft-lbs of torque produced at 8,750 RPM, so the new V4 no slouch in the performance category. This bike hauls the mail or can cruise around town with ease. Kindly subscribe to our channel for more updates. Stay tuned.